Hello and welcome back to Dark Souls 3. Last time we had a look at the Crucifixion Woods and... no, it's called Road of Sacrifice, right. The Crucifixion Woods was just part of the Road of Sacrifices. And as I said last time, today we are going to have a look at the Cathedral of the Deep. And I can already see it. This will be probably a longer episode. So this is roughly where I stopped last time. I was a bit further ahead, but this is technically where the cathedral starts, so I'm starting from here. These are the bounds of the cathedral, as shown by these walls. These are basically confining the outside area to the cathedral themselves, or itself. And here we have a bunch of tombstones. I've talked about that last time. Similar to the cemetery of Ash, we have also here a graveyard or a cemetery. Today we are going more in the Pyromancer set, I should say. Last time I bought some better Pyromancies, and today we have the bigger fireball, then the splitting fireball, and still combustion with us. So, last time we didn't go into this strange building over here, but it's, from the start we see a light, so it kind of feels inviting to us. It's not, imagine this would be completely pitch black, like this building, no light, no nothing. Then you would be a bit more cautious. So let's go inside and check if this door opens. And this is also the reason why I didn't go in here last time. Is because here is one of the points where you can technically enter the first DLC of this game. Up to this point you shouldn't really enter the DLC, it's quite a bit hard. So I will skip this for now. We'll have a look at his dialogue, I guess, but I'm not paying the dialogue any attention right now. I'm still playing it though. But to have a look at this room first, feels like a small chapel. Right, we have all these chairs. Then on the stage, someone can hold their, whatever it's called you do in a chapel or in a church. I have no idea, but you can do that stuff. It's kind of weird, like, there's a small step here, right? I'm just noticing this. This is a small step. And you probably don't want to put your chairs, like, two legs on the higher area and two on the lower area, and you're sitting, like, crooked. That's not really something you want to, where you want to place your chairs. But oh well, they did. Some people liked it apparently. But yeah, let's approach them.
Merciful goddess, mother of the forlorn, who have no place to call their own, please bear witness to our resolve. Fire for Ariandel. Fire for Ariandel. And the ash to kindle flame.
You done? Good. Let's ignore him for now. That's funny. So, where do I want to put my binoculars? Do I even have them? Do I not have binoculars? Or am I just extremely blind? Or do you put them in... oh no, you put them in here, okay. I don't need fire bombs anymore, here we go. So, let's have a look at this altar. With this nice mural of the Deacons of the Deep. The boss residing in this area. Spoiler ahead, it's not Aldrich. He's long gone. left are his followers only. But we don't know that yet, right? But here we can see basically the deacons working, or can you call that working? Probably working in this cathedral. But we will see them a lot later on. Right now we only have the small, very, very tiny chapel. And I guess I could probably... This is always so weird to me. Like, I'm thinking about it, right? These must be used assets, or reused assets. Because if we have a look up there, we can see these... what are they called? Like you can see where windows or something similar like windows could have been, right? But it's walled up. So I wonder if this is a reused asset to put in some texture, and they just walled it off, so because they don't want to have windows in here for some reason. What I was thinking before that is, like, I would like to have some upper level to this area. Maybe, excuse me, maybe something where that you can access with a ladder, just so you have more stuff to explore. But yeah, doesn't matter. This works as a hub area. Is the bonfire floating? The bonfire is indeed floating. Just a tiny bit. It's not really touching the ground there. You might wanna... you can see underneath the bonfire. You can see the door through there. Okay, enough of that. Decor, yeah, very nice, very nice. Here we got the notched whip. I guess kind of fitting for this kind of establishment, somewhat. With the whole penance system in place. Much more noticeable if you remember, like, if you've suffered through that terrible Lords of the Fallen playthrough where everything lagged in the video, then there in Lords of the Fallen we have a church that is very penance focused, where everything has to bleed and suffer for penance, whatever. And here it's like hinted with the notched whip, I feel like. But okay, this place acts as a small hub area because we go back to this bonfire a lot of times. Is it even the only bonfire? Or no, there's Rosaria's bonfire as well, but who cares? Let's just go in, or not in, because these doors aren't accessible right now. Let's just go outside, that's what I mean. Outside we have a well. Nice well here. And a few guys praying to this obelisk. And, well, I guess we have to kill them if we want to access this item. Of course, someone is coming from behind. The ones with the burning weapons are always a bit special because they can light themselves on fire and rush at you. This one wasn't doing it though. So, area design. How do they do progression here? Because I already can see two different paths. One is over here, which is a drop down. And usually I don't like drop downs, right? If you remember, I don't like dropping down onto points of no return. I would like to first go through areas that I know are like where I can return from, right? But I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going down here this time because I know I can loop around very easily. And this is basically just a side area which connects via a shortcut to the main path. What we have here is a small river bed, kind of strangely still on this graveyard ground. And we have this monstrosity in front of us. And these monstrosities are very strange. They're basically made out of maggots. and they heavily dislike fire. So you can stun them with fire and you can deal enormous amounts of damage to them. But let's get hit by one of them. I don't want to have the torch right yet. Okay, I got hit by them. As you can see, fire staggers them. But now you should be able to see these maggots crawling all over the character's body. And they will inflict bleed buildup for quite a long time. How you can get rid of them is fairly easy. You just take out a torch and they're gone. So, if you want to deal with these maggot monstrosities, I guess just burn them. Over here we have an interesting drop, because this is a Saint Tree Bellvine, and which lets me believe that this destroyed tree here was once the, what was it called? Saint Tree. It's called a Saint Tree Bellvine. So this must have been the Saint Tree, or maybe it just dropped down from up there. It could have been the case as well. Sacred chime for casting miracles of the gods, a bellvine cut from a small saint tree that has been meticulously tended to. Saint tree bellvines are customary in the far north and allow for faster casting than ordinary sacred chimes. So it's not the best chime, but this one casts faster, as it says. Sadly, not that much lore around, well, this place or some other place. But what I'm wondering right now, these monsters, right? They are made out of, they're basically made out of maggots. It's kind of hard to see what they look like, but you can see that it's just an amalgamation of maggots fused together to create this beast here. And where do you usually find maggots and these kind of disgusting vermin? You can usually find them in dead corpses that just lie around. I mean, sure, we have a graveyard next here, up the cliff, and I guess down here as well. So they probably dumped some corpses down here at some point, or maybe they dug them back up, which kind of would make sense, so that Aldrich could eat them. But I'm not sure if Aldrich likes dead corpses. And also where you can find a lot of fly larvae, or mosquito larvae I should say, is in stagnant waters. And I guess this water, or this river here, or I don't know what this is supposed to be, flows. But this, I don't know, this could have been just animation because they don't want to have the swamp water from the swamp, but that could be another indicator for that. But it's kind of strange, where is it flowing to? Like, it's confined in this basin here. It shouldn't be able to flow anywhere. Maybe it's just the flowing water texture they had to use because they don't want to use a different water textures, and they don't want to create a stagnant water texture extra for this area. Could have been the case. But yeah, back to the level design. At the beginning, at the bonfire, we saw two paths. One jumping down and one upwards. We decided to go down, and where we started out, we had again two paths to go. So, and I decided to go through here, which doesn't really matter which path you take, because, well, I know the layout, so it loops back around. It's a big ass circle here. We also have a crystal lizard over here that we might want to get rid of. So I think combustion is pretty good against them, yes, indeed. Let's see let's see what we can find here. Kind of strange that I just boarded up this, or bricked up this window. It'd be kind of nice to explore this part of the cathedral as well. Let's see if we can find an entrance to this part here, because I think you can only walk on top of it, but not inside of it. So I want to check if they actually thought of a possible entrance to this area, or if it's just they just placed it here to create a more interesting level down here. Let's see what's the truth of that. But first, there's another crystal lizard to harvest. And let's see. Up to this point, sadly, no entrance to this building. Kinda unfortunate, because we already looped back around. And the only real entrance that we have to this building is this one. But as you can see, kinda looks like a crypt. We have sarcophagi here. And these weird statues. We will see them quite a bit later on in the cathedral itself. I can't really remember. Didn't we see some statues before? We saw some statues in the undead settlement, right? In front of the cursed rotted great wood. That might or might not resemble the pilgrims. So what is this resembling? An old dude? He also has some sort of growth on his back, and he seems to be like offering something to someone. But I can't make out what it's supposed to be on top of his head, like this hood-like thing. Looks like a second creature, maybe. Ah, that looks creepy. Let's take out the torch so we can see better. But it kind of looks like if we look from this side, it looks like the head, the person's head, is being eaten by another creature that is already eaten like the rest of him, maybe. Slightly. This is kind of strange, or maybe they're begging as well. But it kind of looks like more of a offering pose. Like he's kneeling, hunched over, but something could be placed into his hands that he would offer to the goddess or to the god or whatever they are worshipping here. But yeah, in this small little crypt, nothing else. And now we loop back around, so let's have a look at what's over here. I just skipped this part. Over here we have a big crystal lizard, and this path back to the bonfire, so this is why I wanted to go down here first. So the crystal lizard is sleeping, let him sleep for now. We have some more graves over here, nothing special. What I kind of find strange in this game, now that I've played a bit of Archthrones, because if you've seen the Archthrones mod, they just went overboard with the design of the cathedral, and it was probably one of the more impressive areas they've designed. Well, they used a bunch of Bloodborne cosmic, what's it called, cosmic assets that you find in the Chalice dungeons and stuff. But I kind of wonder, like, that place was so moody, and in comparison to the Archthrones mod, this almost looks pale in comparison. Like, there's not much lighting going on here. It feels like it's all the same shade of gray here. And we also have this weird small place here where another one of these creatures, oops, wrong spell, one of these maggot creatures resides, looking over the poisoned bite ring, which, can we even use that down here? I don't think so. Let's see if we can find some kind of poison in this area, because I can't remember. I'm not really recalling any enemies in here using poison attacks, so it kind of feels very odd to find this here, but maybe the lore has something to tell us here. One of the bite rings native to Karim increases poison resistance. The crafting of these rings is forbidden, perhaps owing to a fear of malleable stone. I don't know what that means. Clerics, however, dabble freely in the art. Okay. I don't know what that word malleable, whatever means. But okay, there's just a forbidden ring, so I guess some cleric of Karim was here. Maybe this church or cathedral was once a cathedral of Karim and they took it over. Maybe not. Let's get rid of this lizard over here and then let's move on. Quite the tanky one. Oh, they simply do not take that much fire damage. That could be the case too. But okay, already 20 minutes over and I'm not even in the cathedral itself. I'm not counting this part as the main cathedral part. But there's a lot to do here, so let's go over to the graveyard and see what's going on there. Because they're using... they already stood up here. Right. And they have these maggot-infested corpses here that endlessly, or seemingly endlessly, I don't know if there is an end to this, but they will continuously spawn from the ground and start to vomit maggots on you. And it can become very overwhelming or annoying or whatever. And you also have here a few items, so let's quickly go through here and pick up some items. We got the Astora Greatsword. We'll have a look at that item later on. Once we have some breathing room. Then we can drop down here. Dude banging in his head on nothing. More weird as graveyard. I like the verticality they're using in this graveyard. It's very unique for a graveyard, I should say. Usually graveyards in video games are more like a line, or not like a line. What am I talking about? Like, it's a flat piece of land with tombstones, a few trees, flowers here. There are no flowers in this game. It's all overgrown with weeds and stuff. See, they have even the more extreme version of these maggot corpses. This onslaught has no end, so let's quickly run through here. Dude there. And I don't think there are any more items here. There might be some item over here. Let's have a quick look. But I'm pretty sure that these two items, like the Executioner's Sword and the Astora Greatsword, are the only... Oh, come on. No. Burn him. Are the only important items here. Okay, they're still standing up. I'm not having any time I mean, yeah, there's still a bit of earth here, where I guess they were buried on this part as well. It's kind of weird. They also have an awful lot of trees here growing on this rock. So I'm kind of wondering if this is if these trees were planted or if they were grown once this place got taken over or abandoned, basically. Or not really abandoned, but once the curse took place. We also have these dangerous foes with the dual blades. They are quite dangerous. They also have some fire attacks and they move like puppets. With the next one I will surely have a look at their moveset because they're quite a disturbing enemy, I should say. Over here we have another white birch tree. And I was thinking, like, maybe this is one of these saint trees. Could also be the case where this is the tree that got carefully tended to, and the chime just fell down. And as you know, the giant, our friend, likes to protect these trees. And he's usually bombarding not the tree but these enemies around here. And also he's bombarding you if you are no longer in the possession of the right branch. I kinda wonder how he sees the branch from so far away. And where even is it coming from? It's coming from there. I wonder if we can even see the tree. We can even see the tower. That's quite nice. And he works well as a connecting point of the different areas. Because, well, we had the physical path leading to this area, but now we also have something from the undead settlement shooting at, or connecting us from here to that place. From here we can see the tower even better. That's quite nice. I really like that. We can also see the bridge leading from Lothric Castle to the undead settlement over there. I like this connectivity, and I'm also a fan of that. You can see some landmarks from other areas, so that it feels more connected. While it's not as connected as the world in Dark Souls 1, it is in another way very much connected. So, and by the way, now we are back in this building that I just visited before. Just this time we have this endless ladder here. I kind of wish they utilized this building that we are standing on top of a bit more. Maybe as a small crypt or something. Because this is all unutilized real estate, so to speak, that they could have used to create a more in-depth level. But okay, we have quite a few items to go through. First, the Astora Greatsword, I mean. This greatsword, bestowed only upon elite knights, is a relic of the ruined land of Astora. Unfortunate that it is ruined. Designed for a focus on thrust attacks, this sword is hard and sharp, but not unusually heavy. And this is reflected by the weight, only 8, which is quite light for an ultra greatsword. It's our first ultra greatsword, so we have no comparison. But it's quite light. It's even lighter than this greatsword here, the Executioner's greatsword. Let's read this item description. Greatsword of a debauched executioner used for beheadings. This sword retains a keen memory of its executioner's duty and absorbs FP from each fallen foe. I'm kind of wondering why a executioner would need some FP, but well, they're called focus points, so I guess you have to be fairly focused as an executioner to like keep beheading people and not just half chopping off their head. That would be kind of gruesome. And also you're technically taking the focus from your enemy, which, yeah, kind of grim. But so is this world. And then we get this Cursed Ward Great Shield, which is kind of strange because this is the Pursuer's Great Shield from Dark Souls 2, but we sadly don't have the Pursuer Armor or the Pursuer Greatsword or Ultra Greatsword in this game. Great Shield given to those who resisted the curse long ago. Far too heavy for an ordinary person. Perhaps it is sick. I can't read today. Perhaps it signifies the foolishness of resisting the curse, and yet those who bear the weight of this shield will not find its protections against curses wanting. So I guess on top of the heavy dark and magic resistance this one has, with 75%, that's quite the number. It also wards off cursed attacks. Like from... I don't know if you can block the fog from the basilisks. That's probably not it. I wonder which attacks in this game are cursing the player actively, if there are any. So, this is one of the entrances to the Cathedral of the Deep. And it's quite the path to this place, I must say. Usually we would expect to have a cathedral to have a main entrance that is on the ground level, but this one is not on ground level. You're literally on top of another building, and you had to go through a graveyard before that. And on top of that, this one can't even be opened from the side. So we can't even access this church or this cathedral yet. Over here to the left there's 2 rusted coins, so who cares, but let's grab them and have a look at these statues, because they're quite different from the statues that we have here. They're made out of a different material. These are made out of the same material that is used for the stairs and for the railings here. And then we have these, who are they made out of which material? Is it bronze that turns into this turquoise ugliest thing? I think it is, right? Remind me if I'm wrong, or correct me if I'm wrong, but they're definitely made out of a metal, while these are made out of stone. And these are depicting crying women, or crying nuns maybe? Which, well, I don't know what to read into this, not yet at least, but it exists. I'm wondering, like, holy shit, this is the same material, right? If I illuminate this one, it becomes brownish again. But when there is no light, it's instantaneously turning into this gray color. And if I look at this area should have been much darker. Like, there should be much more shadow casting here. I guess this is one of the limitations of their lighting engine. But yeah, now we are awkwardly walking alongside of the... well, alongside of the side of the cathedral, trying to get entry. Can this one stop shooting? Can't even reach him from here. Maybe if I aim higher. I got him. Just took some bolts from him. It's kind of interesting that they're using Lloyd's talisman here to inhibit the player character from healing, which you would usually expect from some kind of paladin or something, but not just these normal hollows. What is also interesting is how they're utilizing, well, the roofs of this place, because usually you shouldn't have access to a roof of a cathedral, right? It's way too dangerous. You don't want to have anyone walking there. And yet, there has been some signs of worship up here. Because if you think like it, right, you have this railing here, and it was once closing off this part of the this wall extension here, right? So it's not meant to be walked upon, and yet you have these fire holder thingies, and somehow someone built themselves this little platform here made of wood. And I'm wondering what these spikes here are for, that we see along these walls here, like these, also made out of bronze kind of spikes. And they also have like, this is so weird, like, I guess it adds texture to this place, but why would you place like incense bearers, and maybe incense bearers makes sense, but these chains, like, it's kind of weird and it's odd looking. It's also kind of odd that you have tombstones here, and maybe tombstones and maybe lids for a sarcophagi. And then who lights all these candles? Shouldn't they be out all the time? But yeah, imagine this this railing there was intact, then we had no access to the cathedral whatsoever. That's our only access right now, which is kind of crazy. We have to go to the roofs. But then this is... let me talk, for fuck's sake. Stop attacking me. In this case, I wish I could turn my character invisible. And I guess I can, but I also want to show how you can possibly fight them. Maybe not with these stats, kinda odd what I'm doing here, but... Oh, come on. Get rid of this. I want to talk about this place here, because this is strange again, right? You're not supposed to walk here. Apparently. Like, you're not supposed to walk here. But then you have this one, this balcony platform thing here. Which kinda tells me that you're supposed to walk here. But you're not. This is a roof. You're not walking on roofs. That's not a place where you should walk on. And how do you even get here? Well, about that later we can see how we can technically get here, but it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange, really. And I guess for maintenance purposes you have these steps here, these staircases connecting these areas to each other, like this roof extension. This doesn't here... This encounter in particular doesn't really feel like a fun area, or a fun experience, I should say. Like, it's extremely unsatisfying when you're getting hit by an arrow, or by some kind of projectile, right? Your character staggers, you're stuck in this very, well, very short animation, but you're still stuck in it, but it just doesn't feel good. And then they place like 3 crossbowmen down there. Like, what's the deal with that? Sure, you can rush them down one by one, but still, it's not a fun experience, so I think. But yeah, it's kind of weird that you have this area that you're supposed to walk on, but then you have this roof which we're usually not supposed to walk on. But then again, this area isn't really connected to anything. Because, like, yeah, you could jump over here, and these wooden boards, these are, like, someone placed them here at some point. It's not part of the building, technically. So, kinda strange. It's also... This is such a weird design, I must say. Like... This is clearly... This becomes clearly a main path, right? You have a staircase, this is fine. And this is connected to a door inside. But then you're going to this part where you have this pavilion kind of thing over there, fine. But then here, the railing stops at this point. It's not going up the staircase. So it's unsafe. You can technically, you can hurt yourself with this part, right? And with this one over here. Well, it's a deadly fall usually. But it's kind of weird that they abandoned the safety feature here. Of course, they made it so that the player jumps over there, and sure, like this is obvious for level design reasons. But here the level design kind of sticks out again, because if you're building one of these areas, or if you would build something like this in real life, you would make sure to put safety features in place so that no one falls down or hurts themselves, breaks something, whatever. Right? You wouldn't do something like this. If you want to have access to these things so that people can repair stuff or maintain stuff, fine. Then you can maybe have some kind of small door there and whatnot, but this is not something you're supposed to walk on. Well, let's walk on there anyways. We can easily jump over here and see what's up here. I kind of wonder how they stick to the ceiling. I also want to have this ability to stuck or to stick myself on ceilings or something, or climb impossible walls. Also kind of goofy, I didn't address that earlier, but also kind of goofy how you can see like how your character or NPCs are casting shadows, but then the part you're walking on is not casting a shadow, so your shadow is just floating somewhere. Guess you can see it here. Yeah, look at my shadow, it's just floating there. There should be the shadow from the structure that I'm walking on right now. But the nice thing about this part where you can jump to is not that you're getting an item. There is no reward here, but you can prepare for this ambush. You can get rid of this ambush, because let's get rid of 2 of them. And let's leave this one and see what he's doing when we are getting to that point. Just jump down here. Usually the one dude up there would ambush you, and now we only have this dude to deal with. Just for these red bug pellets. Over here we have one of these evangelists again. Showing again that they work for this place. Otherwise they wouldn't be here. So these are trying to evangelize. Oh, I just turned off my volume there. Excuse me for that. But yeah, usually you wouldn't see those standing in the Cathedral of the Deep if they're not part of it. So I guess these people were already converted to their faith. You can have some fire. Ouch. Ouch. What even is the Ash of War of this one, or the weapon art? Oh, it's right. Oh, that's kind of funny, this grunt that the character is doing when you're buffing yourself. It counts as a voice line, so it's also louder. Oh, these are called Undead Hunter Charms. Excuse me, these are no longer called Lloyd's Talisman. Excuse me. Tool used to hunt down the undead. Blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. Used long ago by Lloyd's cleric knights on their undead hunts. Although Allfather Lloyd is long forgotten by the Way of White, his hunts have lived on, and this charm allows one to challenge undead without fear of tenacious healing. So I guess they're actively hunting for undead here as well, even though they're undead themselves. Kind of ironic, right? But I guess they're using these things to subdue undead to feed to Aldrich, or people to feed to Aldrich as well. Maybe that's what they're used for here. Whoops, wrong spell again. But yeah, I left this ambush open, so let's see what happens. One comes out of the door, and the other ones are jumping from the roof. From the roof of this empty building. Man, they don't really like decor in this area, do they? At least not in these side areas. They have quite a bit of decor in the main area, but still. It's kind of funny how we are almost like 50 minutes in and are not even inside of the cathedral. And of course I'm a bit slow because I'm stopping here and there, but still it takes quite a while to go through these areas, as you can see. So imagine what would happen if someone would go through here and then dying a few times maybe on your first playthroughs. Takes quite some time. And it's not really a hard area, but especially this long strip here, like if you think back, we had to go on to the graveyard, we have to loop around this one building or walk on top of this one building and then go on this fairly hard or fairly somewhat punishing gauntlet. There are a few moments where you really have to be careful not to take another hit, right? With all the crossbowmen, then you have these small dudes who are agile, and sometimes you're being inhibited or your healing is being stopped by these dudes with their undead hunter charms. It's quite the hard area. I was almost always kind of wondering what this place here is. Like this in particular, it kind of looks like a pond or like a small lake or something. But it also looks weird. Maybe this is part of the deep. It looks deep, definitely, but I think we'll have a look at this place later on as well, if I remember correctly. At least somewhere close to here, so let's keep going, because here we have one of these, or two of these grave tenders, I think they're called. Let's lure one out if we can. And this one saw us, okay. Let's get rid of this one, and then have a look at the moves of the other one. Grave Warden, that's what they're called. Well, these are kind of out of place. Ah, look at their face, holy shit. Oops, these are not the binoculars. Ooh, they look quite ghoulish. Well, probably because they're ghouls. Oh, what is this now? Oops. Oh man. Always funny. Don't have to fight them. But if you've seen, this is something interesting now. If you're watching this video, you're probably also interested in Elden Ring. Probably even more so than this game, to be honest. An Elden Ring's DLC got announced, everyone knows that, and we've seen in a part of the reveal trailer or of the teaser trailer, whatever it is, of the trailer that we've seen from the DLC, we saw two player characters, or two player characters fight each other. I think one of them had the samurai armor, if I remember correctly, and the other one was wearing this red dress, whatever. And they used two swords, similar to these. Two curved swords, I think. And they had very similar movements, if not the same movements to these guys. Like these dancing motions, these very dance-like motions where they, like, where your arms are like stretched out and you're doing these wide sweeps. But what's kind of strange with their movement, let's see if I can get them to dodge here. Right, this dodge that they're doing. Come on, dodge again, please. I don't want to kill you yet. These dodge motions, they almost look like puppets. Not really. There are other enemies in this game that dodge like puppets, or more like puppets, but it almost feels like it because they have this flowing motions, and it kind of reminds me of how I would imagine some kind of drunken style. Very fluent motions, but seemingly weird, like they're moving their midsection to one side. Like usually if you would do a dodge or a sidestep, you would probably go either with your upper body or with your lower body first, but they're doing it with their midsection. It looks kind of like first their belly or something, or right, the center of their body goes into one direction and then the limbs are following almost, which looks very weird. Again, as if they were controlled by something else. So, we finally reached the other entrance to this area. I guess technically this shouldn't be an entrance, because this should be the door to a balcony, or to this balcony-esque area. You shouldn't be able to get here normally. Like, with the cathedral intact. With no broken off or destroyed pieces. Because remember, we got here from a broken down railing like this one. Or however you call it. How do you call it? Is it a railing or is it something else? I'm wondering now. Write it down. More praying dudes. Oh, I forgot they have wings. Right. These winged creatures. Still looks kind of strange. These are sadly just enemies that we've seen in on the high wall of Lothric. Just with a different skin, like with different clothing on, but well, except for their burning weapons. But these are basically just copy-pasted enemies with slightly altered movesets. But now let's finally enter the cathedral, because finally we can open a door here. Holy shit. Almost 1 hour in. And now that this is really bad. Now that I've seen what could have been, what this area could have been from the what's it called, Arch Thrones mod. It's kind of almost disappointing, but I mean, they had two different visions here. And I'm not comparing this to Arch Thrones, because Arch Thrones is not... it's a very well designed mod, but it's not part of Dark Souls 3. It's not official. There might be some official things in there, or official lore bits in there, but well. This is the Cathedral. And, well, we also have a giant here. Don't ask me how they got a giant in here, because I don't know. Like, they must have built the cathedral around the giant, because they're not fitting through here. Come on, they're not fitting through one of these doors. Like, maybe they do, probably not, but they got giants in here, probably to help build this place. That would be my best guess. But yeah, let's go the only path that we can take. Fairly linear so far, right? But it's not changing, this area is fairly linear. Which is totally fine. Oh, and now these statues can puke up some poison, so I guess... I guess the poison bite ring now, like, is somewhat... no, it's not. I guess it's for the Farron Keep, to prepare you for Farron Keep. But not for this area, so they could have placed it in the Crucifixion Woods, to be honest. And it wouldn't matter. Would have probably be a better place. But yeah. We finally have some deacons. And they are luckily a pushover. Like, they can poke with their sticks and they can cast some fireballs from their candlesticks or sticks as well. Oh no, oh no. Well, they're not really a dangerous enemy, and if you roll into them, you're even staggering them, so... They're a pushover, which is fine. Right? It's fine to have weak-ass enemies. Ooh, this almost hit me. Be careful. I guess I kinda like the decor in here with these big chandeliers and these cupboards for candles. And I guess they have their little, what would you call this? Meeting room? I would call it a meeting room. Yeah. So, now we have 3 paths. Path to the giant. I don't want to go here yet, that looks like progression. Then the path down here. Let's see where it leads to. This path is so bizarre, because it basically leads to nowhere. It leads to a balcony, by the way. And I guess another evangelist, but... Oh, she staggered. She fell into me somehow. But yeah, I think from here, yeah, deep gem, and then we have this black-looking lake. So I wonder if this lake has some connection to this place, or if this is supposed to resemble something deep or whatever, like deep waters. But it's kind of poorly conveyed. I guess we get the deep gem, and then if we look down here, we have this pitch black hole, possibly filled with water. Yeah, it's water, I think. It kind of looks like it, but I don't know. It feels like... Okay. It's called the Cathedral of the Deep. And the deep is a concept in this game. I'm not getting into the concept, but... if you think about the deep, then the first thought that comes to mind is deep waters. At least to me, deep waters. So you might want to have some kind of water aspect built into your level design, I would say. And I guess we have this pitch black lake that we can only see at 2 spots in this entire level. Which is... right? And then the other water aspect we have in this area is like, nope, you're not falling on me. I can't talk about it. Let's go back here. I don't want the giant to attack me while I'm trying to talk. So I'm going back here to the balcony so that I can talk in peace. Because, well, the giant will attack us once we go on top of that. But the other only water aspect that we have is this not so deep water over there, very shallow water. Like we have these floors that are filled with water, and we have 4 basins here, 4 very small basins, and 2 of them are covered with giant shit. And dead corpses, I guess. So... Or maybe this is just Aldrich's sludge, but... Nah, it's the poop of the giants, I guess. Kinda weak, the concept, to be honest. I kinda wish they would go more into the deep... in the deep aspect. Maybe more of a water level. I really like water in games, but... Sure, the player can't swim, but you can have deeper basins and maybe some levels where you have these small bridges. Like, just imagine that we have one big strip or one big bridge, similar to Dark Souls 2 Shrine of Amana, where we have this bridge that is covered with water. On the bridge, the water is shallow, but to the sides, the bridge is very deep. So if you fall down this bridge, you're done for, because you can't swim in this game, right? So imagine we had something like this here, like the middle strip is like this bridge, then we have some connections to these, from the bridge to these staircases, and the rest is just deep abyss, or deep water, ray abyss, whatever. That would look cool. And even though, like, the deep is not actually water, but it would emphasize on that deep water aspect more. Even though it's more like a thought, right? The deep is more like a thought. It's like in the minds and in the souls and in the depth of the person, and not something physical that, I mean, it can be manifested physically, but into spells, for example, but it's more like a concept. But they could have conveyed that visually a bit more in this level, I would say. Over here we finally have we finally have our, technically our first shortcut, because this one where we kick down the ladder, that doesn't count as a shortcut. Like, the graveyard isn't really that problem, well, isn't really a big problem, I would say. But this is our first real shortcut. After 1 hour of gameplay. Hooray! This is going to be a 2-hour episode, I don't care. I'm going to do these. So, now let's meet this giant. And there are 2 things that you can do with the giant. First one is just, I think, do the thing that you're supposed to do, is like, I wonder if you can hide here. Let's test it out. Can you hide here from the giant? Or can he smash you? Ooh. Here's a grab animation. I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. I like that. I really like that. Ooh. Oh, let's just get rid of him from here. Ooh, that was delayed. How you can easily fight this giant is by shooting at his head with arrows from the beginning. Like, make him stand up and then shoot at him until he goes down again, and repeat. And you really want to hit his head, because there he takes more damage. There we go. Giant down. Poor dude. That's what you get from for attacking me. Let's read the ring that we just got. Lloyd's sword ring. Ring given to Knights of the White Way. Depicts Old Father Lloyd's sword of law. Kinda wondering, no, we don't see the sword in the game, I think. Nope. Boost attack power when when HP is full. Much time has passed since the worship of Lloyd was common in the Way of White. The clerics of Karim had always strongly asserted that Lloyd was a derivative. No, huh? What is it word? Some fraud. He was a fraud. And that the old father title was self-proclaimed. Okay. No, it's called derivative fraud. Okay. Yeah, very good ring, especially for me right now because I'm always full HP. So let's use it. Why not, right? Oh, she wants to come as well. Hey. Keep firing at her. Spiked mace. How fortunate. Okay, let's keep going. So far, nothing special over here. This is kind of weird again, because we have no safety features here in place, which is... I mean, it's your own fault if you fall down something like this. I mean, the bridge is wide enough, but still. You wouldn't build something like this in the modern times. Very unsafe. Not good. Seek guidance. No, thank you. Then we have a ladder here just for one item. Like we had the evangelist that just jumped down over here. And well, the only thing that we have here now is one item. Kind of feels like a waste of space here. But well, it's kind of fine. It's fine. No safety feature again, just for level design. I mean, I'm not approving of this building style, to be honest. Like, they're way too dangerous. Ooh, very small. Very, very small prayer room right here. This time with proper benches. And of course, holy shit. How do you even sit in these benches? Like, I haven't looked at them further, but like in detail before, but if you sit like this and you wanna, like, your head is like getting pushed, you can't really sit comfortably. And I guess these wooden chairs are not, or benches are not made to be comfortable, but still. Like, you have this wooden board that is protruding over the back support, poking you in the head if you dare to sit somewhat comfortably. And then we have a mimic. Burn the mimic. Oh, that was it. Okay. I guess they just prayed to a mimic with the deep Braille divine tome. Ooh. Let's read it. A Braille divine tome of the deep, belonging to the deacons of the Cathedral of the Deep. Give this to a storyteller to learn miracles of the deep, intended to teach divine protection to the deacons of the deep, but later dark tales were added to its pages, such that it is now considered a thing profane. Yeah, we can give this to Irina, and she will teach us the spells, but it's not good for her, so we should wait a bit longer with this one until we have someone who is a bit more strong-willed, I should say, and can resist these, whatever it is. Like, when we first saw her, like, she was like terrified of these creatures that she can sense that are nibbling and biting her, much like insects, really. Good idea. And let me just walk up and then casually buff my weapon in front of you. Oh, I get it now. Right. Let's use our new acquired big-ass shield of the Pursuer. Because this is the only... This one's attacks are cursing, I guess. Maybe not attacks, but... Here we have this weird room with a very black ceiling for some reason. Maybe that's the deep. Maybe they have a deep ceiling over here. Nah, it's just... I don't know. It kind of reminds me of this Dark Souls 2 level design-ish, where they... If they have something dark, they're just putting a black rectangle on top of it or something. They've done that in many areas in Dark Souls 2, and now they're doing it in this area. Maybe they haven't had enough time to build this place properly. There's something big on the ceiling. Oh no, what is it? What is that thing? Holy shit, that's creepy. Oh, it's jumping. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Let's quickly run away from it. It can't fit through the door, and... Nope, it can't. Hey. Do you like pyromancy? No? Oh, that's unfortunate. Ah, it bites me. Ah, it's cursing me with every attack, I think. Let's see if that's actually true. Oh yeah, this mist is cursing. But I want to see something. Where is the stupid hut? There we go. Hey, you want to bite me? Oh yeah, it is cursing me. Let's see what happens if he hits the, or if he bites the shield. Oh, it's still cursing. It's not protecting me from curse. How dare you? What a useless shield. Oh well. Oh, it's already dead. Ooh, what was that? Hideous creature. Looked kinda like a weird-ass spider. But not really. Oh, we got Aldrich's Sapphire. Let's see what this is. Some kind of ring, but... Let's read the item description. A malformed ring left by Aldrich, Saint of the Deep. Recovers FP from critical attacks. So, backstabs and parry riposts. Aldrich, infamous for his appetite for flesh, apparently had the desire to share with others his joy of imbibing the final shudders of life while... What are these words? While luxuriating in his victims' screams. Okay, now for normal people to understand, he liked to share with others, and he liked when the victims scream. Quite the creature, this Aldrich guy. What was that? That looked weird. Oh, never mind, it's just one of these torch holder. And now we're in this watery area. Alright. So, we have some carpet on the side. Some dudes still hanging here. I guess these were the servants of this place, maybe? Serving the deacons. Oh, there's another one. Now we should be able to... No, we should... Yeah, we're getting invaded here. Anytime now. Let's roll through this shit right here. Where's the invasion? I'm Ambered, right? Yeah, I can't use Amber. Come on, invade me, dude. Not that difficult. Kinda strange. Usually Kirk invades here. Come on, stop blocking these fireballs, thank you. Oh, that's kinda strange that he's not invading. Oh well. Ugh. No shield, quick step, there we go. Nope. Oh, that's right. I was kind of wondering, right? Because that spell that we... Not this one. That spell that we have here, that is the Great Combustion, right? That's already the big flame. So I was wondering why I don't have the small combustion, but that's the Ash of... or the weapon art from the Pyromancy flame. It's just the smaller version of this one. Kind of forgot about that. But yeah, let's just quick step through this corpsey shit, whatever this is here. Kind of disgusting, but gotta do what you gotta do. This is probably now the more interesting area, or one of the more interesting areas in this level, because we're once again closer to this lake thingy. I was wrong, you can see it from 3 different perspectives. Now we should be even closer to the deep water. Right? Huh? Or not. I was wrong, never mind. Oh. Isn't this... Kinda wondering where this is. Because it looks familiar. Is this the place with the... Yeah, it is. Okay, never mind. Okay, this is the place where you had the small fire, and then the evangelist, and this is where these 2 dudes were that are just what's it called? Carrying these cages full of bones and corpses on their back. This is where that place is, right in front of the bonfire. The bonfire is right across this bridge that we slightly can see there. Right now we can't see it, but it's at the place where we can see the sickle right now. Right there. Yeah. So I guess this staircase once led to that place, somewhere down here. Before this rockfall, I guess. Then this one somewhere as well led to something that is currently inaccessible. But maybe this was the main entrance to this place then. And we just took a side path, and the other one, the other main gate that I saw was the actual side path to the graveyard. That is also connected to the outside. I mean, this being the main entrance makes more sense, but I guess the main entrance is just destroyed due to a rockfall of some sort. But yeah, would the giant fit through that door? I doubt it. Probably not. So. Then this is what I was talking about. Like, imagine from the main door to maybe this spot over there would be a bridge. Like, I'm walking on top of a bridge now. And then maybe to the sides, like maybe in between these staircases, and then the bridge is connected. Like, there are also bridges from here to there. And then in this space, you have like the very deep water. Because usually I'm a big fan of this. Like, I would like to see buildings in real life that have this kind of feature where you're walking on very, very shallow water. Well, I guess it's inconvenient, like, you need to wear, in order to walk there, you need to wear the right footwear or your shoes are basically gone. But, well, that shouldn't be a problem, right? I'd kinda dig this idea here. Over there we have another giant, over here is nothing. Feels very empty, there should be much more down here, I feel like. It's very empty. And then we have these parts, these are bridges, or things that you can raise. For some reason. Maybe to confine these giants, but why have giants in here to begin with, like? Wanted Aldrich to do... Were they also brought in here so that Aldrich could eat them at some point? They probably helped building this place. Probably. So, let's go over here. And this is now very weirdly made. And I'm going to show you what I mean. This is now very, very weirdly made. Because we already unlocked this path. Like, we've unlocked this path. But you're not supposed to go here yet. I feel like you're not supposed to go here yet. This is something for later. But let's go over here. Let's see if the thing that should happen here already happens. Or happened. No, it didn't. Okay. Didn't happen quite yet. I am still testing for myself when the actual triggers for the NPCs happen. Because yeah, there's supposed to be some NPC interaction in this area, but not right now. But yeah, let's go over here, let's go up here again. Into the main room. Maybe let's get rid of this giant this time from a lower level than before. Maybe we should get rid of these slimes before. Burn his feet. Ouch. Stupid slime. Hey, stop that. I'm kind of wondering, like, there are two ideas that I have with these slimes, what these actually are. Because they're all around Aldrich. Right, Aldrich leaves behind a sludgy area. Not like this. This is literal giant shit. But Aldrich leaves behind a similar looking slimy mass. So I have two ideas on what these slimes are supposed to be. The first one, which I find less likely, to be honest. I mean, it's almost equally as likely, but the first one would be that these are parts of Aldrich that somehow split themselves off and developed a life on their own, right? They're no longer part of Aldrich, but they're literally parts of Aldrich, or they were parts of Aldrich. Because remember from the cutscene, he's this sluggish or slug-like creature now, right? He ate so many people, he cannibalized so many people that he turned himself into this, or he turned into this bloated kind of sludge. And the second thing which I find more likely, is that these are the peoples that followed his example. I mean, the ring already said he liked to share, right? He wanted to convince his fellow dudes to also start cannibalizing other people, and these are just smaller versions of, like, or these are just other people, just not as powerful and sludgy as the master of all sludges, which is Aldrich. And I like this one more, which means there are more people subscribing to Aldrich's idea to cannibalize others, and not just him. But I'm also fine with the idea that these are parts of Aldrich that just fell off. Could be both, to be honest. So let's get rid of some deacons here. Grab this one item. Always looked like a more important item than just an amber. Let's talk about that later. Let's go up here. Because now the NPC interaction should start. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, then... Hey, actually it doesn't matter. So let's see. The bridge is down. Like this very thin kind of ground there. It is down currently. So let's see what happens if we open this door now, finally. If you don't know, this is the door that leads to the graveyard. We were already on this side here. Right, this is this part. If you go inside and see, all of a sudden the bridge is now up. So this is the trigger. Opening this door is the trigger. Let's see what happened. Oh, we got Sigurd here. Oh, and an item. Let's grab this item first and then talk to totally Sigurd. Ooh, some dual charms. How nice. Let's see what Sigurd has to say. He sounds kind of off, right?
Well, you look reasonably sane. I am a knight of Katarina. I've managed to track down this cathedral's store of treasure. It's right over there, across that narrow part. Treasure. Always so close, yet so far. I'm in quite a pickle, indeed. Just hold your horses a moment. I know. Treasure is so sorely tempting.
Sigurd today sounds very odd. Maybe he has a cold or something. And he also forgot that he knows me. How strange. But let's get the treasure he's talking about. Oh. Oh, what happens now? Oh.
Shame on you, you greedy guts.
I'm not guts. Sigurd, that's what you look like.
Thought you could outwit an onion. Well, say hello to the nice giant. He adores visitors.
About that. Oh no.
Where's the old giant? What? Where's the bloody giant? Just what have you done? How dare you? Have you no shame? Damn, and damn.
Such a goofy interaction, I love it. But yeah, during that cutscene we could see that this bridge over there was also up and now it's down again, so what's up with that? Yeah. Let's go and get him, right? god. Come on, rolls through the giant's shit. Quicker. The fact that you can't walk in there normally is annoying. Oh, but let's get to him. Who is this man doing these shenanigans? Trying to get us killed by luring us with treasure. I certainly don't know this person. But yeah, let's get over there and talk to him. But oh no, he's gone. And somehow, he's now on this other side. Can you tell me how he's doing that? He just trapped me. This one was lowered, I just walked around and all of a sudden he's on the other side. Which means that he must have raised the bridge, went over there, and somehow lowered it again. But how did he lower it from here to begin with? Because there is no lever over here. Maybe the slug is on his side over there, that's the only explanation. At least for the trap part. Like trapping us part, like lowering us on while we are on the bridge part. Not on how we got over there that quickly. So this trap doesn't really add up. Well, let's go back. So we just don't have to walk this whole path again. Shut up.
Please.
I don't care, Gale. So now we can go this path. And the pacing here is really off, I must say. It's really off. The pacing is... like, you've encountered this part before. And you're not supposed to go up here yet. I mean... no, you can brick your progress with this part now. You have to do this later here, I think. So yeah, the pacing is really off. This quest is fairly weakly designed, I must say, or this part. But I guess it's not meant to be. Like it's meant to be missed. So that only a handful of players will notice it, but that's kind of weird. Well, let's read this deep ring here, which is just golden. A ring bestowed upon the deacons of the Cathedral of the Deep. Again, why not after Cathedral they pressed enter and wrote and kept writing in a new whatever. Like why is it so weirdly formatted? Allows attunement of additional spells. In the cathedral slumber things most terrible. And as such, the deacons require a great narrative to ensure they do not falter in their duty. A philosophy to ward away the madness beckoned by the grotesqueries at hand. Okay. Whatever. Let's go this weird path again. No, not again, but... what the fuck? Stop wasting my time. There's... no reason to go there. Right, you can't stagger these dudes. No, don't push me off. Let me push you off instead. Is the game louder for me all of the sudden? Why was that so loud? When did I raise the volume? I really hate this headset now. Ah, shit. Well, let's go again. When did that happen? I didn't realize that. It was just louder out of the... Shut up, Gale. Well, that's rather unfortunate. But let's redo this part again. Like, I have this... I guess I can talk about this now. Like, on the cord of the headset, at some point there's this thing with a volume button, right? And sadly enough, I can only control the volume of my computer itself, and not like headset internal volume, if that makes sense. I can only turn up and down the Windows volume, and it is like I'm sitting very close to the table right now, like so that I'm touching the table almost with my body, and sometimes it wedges in between my body and the table, and I press these buttons. That's very annoying, especially because it messes partially with my audio settings as well. But yeah, let's just keep running through here. I don't care anymore. Don't do it. Nope. There's no item. Oh, he just eated himself off, the small dude. Over here we have the arbalist. Again, no safety features on these building parts, but we've seen that before. Okay, he slowly gave up. What are you doing, you youth balls? Blocking each other's paths. And let's see. Pale Tongue over here. Which is kind of fitting for the upcoming area, because soon we will find something. But first we have to go onto these rafters. And don't ask me why there are servants or, well, these dudes patrolling here and standing here. I'm missing them. Come on. Come on. I'm not dodging. Just in case I am falling down. I don't know. Can you please anticipate more their movement? That would be nice. And what I don't understand at all is why they're high-ranking guardians up here. It's an area where no one is supposed to be at. And this area, for some reason, is more guarded than like all the other areas. Like down there, how many dudes do we have? Like these guardian dudes. One is patrolling here. Then there's one in this building thing over there. We have one sleeping on the main thing, and the sword dude over there. Like, on top of here, we have 3 of these. Like, there are two great sword ones, and then the one that is very unique with a crossbow over there. That's quite a lot. Quite a lot of security for like these rafters up here. And you basically just want to lure him away from that area. If you're lucky, he's falling down. Ooh. Ah, run faster. Nope, I don't want to fall down today. Okay, not anymore. If I'm falling down here, I'm cutting this episode now. And I'm walking up here by my own, but that's probably not going to happen. Surely not. Well, the reason why we're even up here is to get to Patches again. I mean, Sigurd. And this one has a crossbow. We can just ignore this dude and jump over here to this platform that makes absolutely no sense. Hey! Stop headshotting me. That makes not even a headshot, but well. This platform absolutely makes no sense. How are you supposed to get here? I don't like this design. Basically me when I'm talking about Dark Souls 2, but like what is this platform supposed to be? What a weird sounds they make. I mean, this one makes sense. Probably not for a human-sized person, but Like, these things exist in real churches, right? You have someone standing here, maybe someone in this case larger than my character here, and talking something to the people, or announcing something, whatever they do in one of these churches. But like this platform up there, it's just there for game design purposes to make this level possible, because they want to have very high up rafters. But if they, like, you are not surviving this fall to this wooden thing here, so they need to have some platform in between there. They just put it there. What they could have done, in my opinion, is design these walls here, these pillar walls that we have on these sides here, like these in between, in a way that they have a that they all have some slight of platform on them where you technically can jump onto, and then it's the player's duty to find them and see this thing and add these two locations together. That would be nice, instead of having one of these giant platforms. Then it would be really nice. I mean, they could have indicated that with, like, maybe a developer created message or something. Even though that would be lame, I think they should trust the players more. And I mean, the pacing of this level is already a bit, or not the pacing of this level, but the pacing of this quest together with the level is already a bit weird. Because, like, you're most likely getting here before you're moving, like, before you're going over there. And then you're not triggering the patches trap. That's kind of weirdly designed.
Huh? Yes, hello. Oh, I don't believe we've met.
No.
I'm Patches. Unbreakable Patches. You seem to be unkindled. Do you have business with me?
You know who I am.
Oh, yes, of course. It's coming back to me now.
I mean, he showed his face.
Oh,
Big
I'm
mistake.
so sorry. That was my hand, as you know. But the deed, well, that was the armor's doing. Regrettable, truly. But behold, I'm stripped clean of that unruly attire. And look at you. Not a scratch. All's well that ends well, right? Yes, we'll be fine. I can tell. It's that rotten curse. It is. The untidy mess. Yes. Now, it wasn't me, but you still deserve an apology. Just a little trinket. Go ahead. It's yours now.
Oof.
You should know, I'm a kind of travelling merchant. If you're as unkindled as you look, you'll find plenty of good stuff.
Sure thing. Let's just buy that cursed armor over here. It's kind of funny how he has two shoulder and a parrying dagger with him. And we're in a cathedral, not the right cathedral though. But these are basically the armaments of a special...
Thanks, good comp.
Special NPC from Dark Souls 1, if you remember. But yeah, let's see what's up here then. Because now we have these weird ass slugs and we have this... Ugh, what is that? Is that Aldrich's sludge or is there some other kind of sludge? Ugh, they look disgusting. Oh, stop staggering me. The first time I got hit by that spell. Ah, stop it. Ooh, disgusting. Stop it. Oh no. Oh, I got hit again. Ooh. Ouch. And this one is not attacking me, but give me the item you have. Thank you. So, this one is weird. Because something broke through these... through these bars. And we have all these chains around here. So, oh, I have maggots on me. Chains on here. So I guess this... something that was, or is, in there... was supposed to stay in there. I know there's access to that thing, so you would kind of expect a boss fight, right? I mean, I would. But nope, it's not a boss fight. It is Dark Souls 3's version of Renala. Oh no, not really. Maybe a little bit. This is Rosaria. She has the ability to let you respec and change your looks. You only need to offer her a pale tongue. And I'm not joining her covenant today because I don't want to mess up another covenant. But we can have a look at her because she is kinda weird. Like, she is a normal-ish human being, a bit bigger, but like, she's still human, right? But she's hugging the slug thingy. I guess that's the head? Is that the head here? Could be a head. And that's what she's doing. If you're respeccing too often, you're being greedy too often with your rebirth, then what happens to you is you become one of these slugs. And apparently she likes the slugs, which is kind of disgusting, but oh well. And well, this is her bed chamber. And yeah, we have all this birth imagery here with all these cradles and beds for children. Really similar to Renala's room, basically. Where she also has the symbolic of rebirth around her, or birth in general, because there are also like these beds hanging from the ceiling in Renala's domain. But yeah, this is basically what the ring fingers are doing. Like, they're bringing her tongues, and sometimes also respec or change their looks or whatever. Kind of grim concept, really. Like, you're taking the life and then you're trying to change your own. Why do I even pull this out? So there are a few things to do now. I guess I can just drop down here. Don't know if this is quicker. Probably it's still quicker. The enemies are still alive. Or alive again. And we're almost through this area. We just have to beat the deacons now. And for this one, I am going to turn something on fairly quickly. Let me see where it is. This is fine. That is fine. Okay, now. Because we are about to fight the deacons, and I do not intend to help with the fight. Oops. At least I get rid of him. Because if you know me, I like to let NPCs fight the bosses first until they're dead. But it's fairly unlikely that the NPCs will manage to kill this boss, because it's a gimmick boss fight. If their targeting was right, they could have done it easily. Or I could do it easily, but it's not. They target the nearest target, I guess, or however the aggro works, so it's not how it works. That's sadly not how it works, they're not that smart. But yeah, do we have more symbols here? I don't think so, right? For some reason I thought there were more symbols here. Maybe you can summon another NPC for this fight, I don't know. But here we have Horus the Hushed. And of course... Come on. Once he appears I can summon her. Oh. So we have Horus and Anri over here. And we are about to face Aldrich. Or so we think, right? Our characters still believe that Aldrich is waiting for us, and that's why these two are coming here, right? To face Aldrich. Because something happened in their past and they don't really like Aldrich. Well, and on top of that, they're both unkindled. They also have the same mission of retrieving his remains, but this is not Aldrich. By the way, this Aldrich's coffin. So he's quite the big dude. And you already see the gimmick. Like, we have all these dudes. Let me maybe turn down the volume a bit of this fighting. And hear a bit more music. But we are basically playing hot potato. One of these guys has this red glow on them. And this is the thing that you need to kill. Whatever they are protecting here or getting buffed by, whatever this glow is. Whatever this hot potato game is. Like, you need to get rid of it. And while the NPCs are capable of fighting these enemies, they're not really capable of focusing the right enemy. And this is and this is their downfall. Oh, she's not dead, okay. So let's help them a little bit and see what's going on, because that's not the whole fight. I mean, it's basically the whole fight, but it's not completely the whole fight. So let's help them a tiny bit here, because otherwise it's just them slashing at some enemies. And it's kind of boring, because we're gonna see some spells. We want to see the deep, don't we? Or something that these spells of the deep can do. Oh, wrong fat fuck. There we go. But for that we need to progress this boss fight a bit until we summon the Archdeacon or whatever it's called, the Pope, basically. We're going to summon the Pope now of this cathedral. There we go. Now they also, like, he has his royal guards basically with him. These blue guys are a bit more stronger. And then we have this very small Pope-like dude with a small and tiny head. Well, not very tiny head, but big head. He's tiny, his head is big. And now they start to do something. Right, they're casting these spells in the air. Let's see if the NPCs, if Anri and Horus can manage it. Can manage to kill the right one in time. Because they're channeling some kind of spells here, right? Like, he can collect these dregs, soul dregs right here. You can collect them and launch a big ball at you. But they also have other spells. Oh, Horus is dead. So you can see the coffin is already like... There's some kind of spell around the coffin, this black bluish mass. And I must say, this music is a banger. This is really good soundtrack, I must say. I was kind of surprised that the soundtrack is so good for this gimmicky boss. Ooh, the spell becomes stronger. Ooh. And I guess this is something that the deep spells can do. And this is what I would expect this place to be more like, right, with these dark and deep effects, because now this whole arena is like covered in this fog, this very heavy looking fog with these dark clouds on top. And I'm not really sure if this is already the spell or if there's another step to it. Didn't know they can launch this ball through there. But this is, I think this is supposed to curse you. Right, this is just cursing you, and then when you're cursed, you die. So this is basically the dangerous part about this boss fight. If you're not managing to control the masses and get to the small dude there in time, then this is basically over. Again, he's collecting these drags to create a big ball of dark magic, whatever. Deep magic. And I wonder, how did this stop now? Did it stop because the time ran out, or did it stop because I hit him accidentally? I can easily test that. Let's hit him again, I guess. Okay, no, the time ran out. Kinda wish I had more AoEs for this now. Let's take out another weapon. And mow through these enemies. Oh, that's kinda satisfying. Sadly, it doesn't provide me with infinite hyper armor. That would be nice. Because they slightly stagger me out of there, out of the attacks. Okay. And the only thing that remains is a doll. Well, and there's soul. And a bonfire. Let's rest at the bonfire. But man, many people don't like this bonfire, this boss fight because it's so gimmicky. But I kind of like this gimmicky, these gimmicky boss fights, because there's something else. Like, we have so many good boss fights in this game. Let some of them be gimmicky, right? Like, not every single boss fight. And some are even tragic, that they're so gimmicky, or that there is no conventional version to get rid of them. For example, Yorm is a very decisive boss fight, but yeah, I enjoy this fight, I enjoy the music of this fight. And let's have a look at these items that we just found. First, the small doll. Small silverwork doll depicting a young squire. And let's first, before I keep reading, let's just keep reading. In the legendary old city of Irithyll, situated in the Boreal Valley, the Pontiff Sullivan gave this doll to valued subjects, so that they might use it to cross the barrier when they return home. Listen carefully, and you can hear it say, "Wherever you go, the moon still sets in Irithyll. Wherever you might be, Irithyll is your home." I don't know, man. Right, I kind of think, like, I have this thought about this doll, like, first of all, given to young squires, given by a pontiff. Irithyll, it kind of feels like groomy to me, whatever, like, please come back. Yeah, I don't know why. It's kind of a weird thing there. So what else? Then the soul. I mean, you know what they say about the church, about the Catholic Church and small children. Nah. Let's read the soul of the deacons of the deep. Soul of the deacons of the deep. One of the twisted souls steeped in strength. Used to acquire many souls or transposed to extract its true strength. After Aldrich left for the Boreal Valley, Archdeacon Royce remained in the cathedral with the high priests to keep eternal watch over their master's coffin. So I guess this was Royce, Archdeacon Royce, that we just killed, and his other priests and deacons, whatever. Was there another item? Right, the robe or his clothing. The Archdeacon holy garb. Maybe not so holy. Holy garb worn by an Archdeacon of the Cathedral of the Deep. A sign of the Way of White's highest rank. Well, of the 3 Archdeacons of the Deep, one stood over Aldrich's casket with hope that he would return one day. So there are indeed 3 Archdeacons and whatever Aldrich is. Whatever rank Aldrich has. So I wonder where the other two are. Maybe we'll encounter them at some point. So I think we can talk to Henri. And I think we can... I don't even know how you're supposed to find that out on your own, but... Shut up, Gale. But we can go out here and go to this well.
Hello? Anyone there? Anyone at all? Oh. I know that voice. Just how long has it been? It's me, Siegfried of Caterina. I'm loath to admit it, but I've been had. Someone's swiped my armor. Did you happen to see it anywhere?
Sure. Oh, quite the deep well.
Oh, my armor. My deepest gratitude. I, Siegfried of Caterina, salute you. With my trusty suit of armor, I'll be out of here in a jiffy. Until we meet again, comrade. No need to worry about me. With my trusty suit of armor, until we meet.
I wonder how he got down there. I mean, and I wonder how Patches managed to just yoink the armor off of Sigurd. Like, maybe he took it off to sleep or something, because I mean, he can sleep in this armor, but it's probably quite uncomfortable, so he must have taken it off for something, maybe to go to the toilet or to wash himself. And then Patches yoinked the armor and threw him or pushed him into the well while he was like maybe taking water out of the well to wash himself or drink or whatever. Maybe that, or Patches is in fact a mage and no one knows that. Yeah, but let's, for the last thing today, let's travel to the Fireling Shrine. And talk to Andre. But not Horace. Because he can't talk. Remember?
Oh, and we meet again. We spoke before on the Road of Sacrifices. Henri of Astora. I'm well pleased to see you safe. We reached the Cathedral of the Deep, but Aldrich's coffin was empty. The man-eater must have left for his true home. The little doll in the empty coffin told me. Aldrich is said to hail from Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, an ancient fabled city. A pilgrim told me that the city lies beyond Farron Keep, and so becomes our destination.
A pilgrim, eh?
Aldrich's honest home is Irithyll in the Boreal Valley, an ancient fabled city. A pilgrim told me that the city and so becomes our destination.
Alright. So, this is going to be it. This is going to be the episode. Well, while we are at it, we can... Ah, fuck. Swap around again. We can have a look at the item descriptions of the items here that we just... or of the souls. So what is new? First of all, Crystal Sage. Should have looked at it last episode. Here we have the Crystal Hail, unique sorcery developed by extraordinary preacher twins known as the Crystal Sages. Cast a cascade of small crystal soul masses from above. Crystal soul masses have piercing qualities. In a pact said to have been formed long ago, one of the sages allied with the Undead Legion in order to train the sorcerers of Farron. So I was right last time, actually. Now let's read the Crystal Sage's rep here. Thrusting sword with tiny crystals scattered across its blade, used by the Crystal Sages for self-defense. The crystals boost the magic damage inflicted by the sword and the item discovery of its wielder. Fruits of the lifetime of research conducted by the sages. Okay. Slightly increases the item discovery and deals magic damage. Understood. Then we have the Soul of the Deacons of the Deep, granting a spell, which is called Deep Soul. Sorcery of Archdeacon Royce and his deacons, said to have been imparted to them by MacDonnell of the Boreal Valley. Fires dark soul drags. Souls which swell from the deep pursue their target, drawn towards life. That's interesting, almost like humanity. In fact, very similar to humanity, but not quite the same. But they also have this pursuing or life-pursuing property to them. Now the Cleric's Candlestick, which I guess is also a sword in this game. Candlestick used as both sword and catalyst. Used for worship by the Deacons of the Deep. The Deacons, under the guidance of Archdeacon MacDonnell, became both clergymen and sorcerers. The skill is guiding light. A candle provides a temporary source of light which reveals additional guidance. Which is actually interesting, like it acts as a torch and it acts as the spell guidance. Apparently. Which is kind of fun. But yeah, there were sorcerers and dudes of faith. But that concludes this episode. Oh man, already 2 hours again. I mean, the cathedral is big, but I was also kind of slow, stopping at some spots, playing kind of sloppy, which is fine, I guess. But so, what should I say as the final words about this place? It's a fairly linear, like, now that I think of it, it's kind of weirdly designed and it's kind of sloppy designed. I must think. The layout is fine, but the thing with patches is kind of weird because you're getting the opportunity to get to the other side where patches ultimately appears before you're getting to patches. Technically, like it's very I mean, the path is directly during one of these, or once you unlock the second shortcut, or technically the third shortcut, you have access to the rafters and also to the side where Rosaria's bedchamber is. And when you're going there first and raising the bridge, like why wouldn't you raise the bridge? Then you're blocking this whole quest line with patches, or this part of the quest line. Like, it's not necessary to finish this quest or to finish this part of the quest line. It's just like a small side quest line, so to speak, for Sigurd. You don't need to rescue him out of the well, I think. If I remember correctly, you don't need to. And you will find him in the Boreal Valley next time anyways. But still, it's very missable, and it's kind of weirdly designed, where like, I think they should have made it, instead of opening the door. Maybe I'm wrong with that, maybe you're not blocking your progress, but you really should have the opportunity, like, I don't know if it's blocking, okay? I have no idea if you can break the quest line by getting to Rosaria first and by raising that platform first before talking to him, or before opening the door that ultimately triggers him to appear. I'm talking about patches here. But that's kind of weird, it's kind of weirdly designed. Then the cathedral itself is it's a bit disappointing looking. Now, especially that I've seen like what could have been in the arch thrones design of the cathedral. While I don't think that they've designed the cathedral perfectly, they've definitely made it more interesting, and the mood is much better. Like, it's called the Cathedral of the Deep, and with deep you like, I am combining deep with like darkness in my head, right? So I would expect to be this place a bit more darker or grim looking, like having this bluish fog hanging on the ceiling or somewhere. Maybe, oh, that would be cool, like maybe having this deep fog on the same level as the rafters, and then when you're on the rafters it kind of feels like you're looking into this darkness. That would be cool. And then again, a bit disappointed that there's no deep water in the cathedral itself, even though it's just like the deep is not necessarily a place of physical water, but it's kind of nice. It would be a nice visual design at that. But the level design itself, like the way they've built the layout of the level, is quite nice. The enemies are hit or miss. It's kind of like, all the encounters are not really memorable. I like fighting the big guardians the most, because they're a fair challenge to the player without being too challenging and too gimmicky. Like, fighting the guardians is actually fun, but fighting like all these very small enemies that just swarm you, especially on the graveyard and stuff, is like, it's thematic, yes, but it's also kind of it's not really a fun experience, that case. Like, I think the outside part needs a bit work, anime design wise, I mean, not layout wise. The layout is fine, and the levels without the enemies in them is fine too, but I think like there are no really unique enemies in the cathedral other than the deacons. Every other enemy type you can find in another place in this game. And technically the deacons aren't also unique to this place, because you can find them in the Boreal Valley as well. Oh well. But overall it's a pretty good area. Definitely a step up to the Crucifixion Woods and on top of that to the Road of Sacrifice. But it's not my favorite area. But it's probably one of the better areas lore-wise. Although the lore of the Deacons, or of the Deep, also goes into the Boreal Valley, because they occupied that place as well, so it's definitely the above average area, I would say, in whole Dark Souls terminology. Especially because Dark Souls 2's areas, settle at the bottom there, on a list like that. They would settle on the bottom. But yeah, 2 hours 16 minutes so far on the clock. I hope you like this very long video. I will try and continue these if we have a particularly big area to go through. Maybe I'm cutting it due to some time problems and I have to make 2 episodes out of them, but I'm trying to make them longer now. I quite enjoy longer videos myself. I mean, if you can't watch them in one go, you can just pause it and watch it, or keep watching at a different time. That's what I'm doing all the time as well with longer videos. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you in the Farron Keep. And by the way, before I say goodbye, what I'm doing now is I'm going to kill off my character a few times so that we can have a different ending, or to progress a specific quest line, but nothing of your concern. I'm addressing that next episode as well. So goodbye.